Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. This video is in addition to what one of my friends was talking about in her video, and I will link the video below. She was discussing breastfeeding, and I just kind of wanted to add to that because I see a lot of new moms who would like to have continued breastfeeding, but for whatever reason they had to stop because they lacked advice, sound advice from someone who had experience with breastfeeding. I think it's very important that you have a good lactation consultant, that you look up your local Leche League, that you have someone that's going to be in your corner that has experience in working with breastfeeding mothers. It could be a mom, it could be another mom who's breastfeeding, it could be a doula, it could be a midwife, it could be a lactation consultant, it could even be doctors and nurses that have experience. That is the key, experience. If your doctor has never breastfed or does not work with breastfeeding mothers, that's probably not the best person for you to ask. That includes nurses or your mom, your grandmother. If they've never breastfed before, a lot of times they're going to be very limited on the information that they can share with you in regards to breastfeeding. I think it's very important sometimes to consult professional advice, especially for new moms who are they want to make sure that everything is being taken care of with their baby, and they don't want to take any chances. And that's a lot of times why they stop, because they fear that maybe the baby's not getting enough, they're not gaining properly, maybe their breasts are hurting and they just can't do it. They can't figure out why it's still hurting. There's so many factors that can be helped if you talk to the right person, a qualified individual, not just anyone, especially when it comes to breastfeeding. There's so much help out there. It's absolutely no excuse of why that you can't find somebody to help you if you really want to breastfeed. Okay, so I'm not talking to people who are just kind of can take it or leave it. If it doesn't work out, I'll just go to formula. I'm not talking to that. That's absolutely fine if that's what you want to do. But if you were one of those mothers who is like, no, I want to breastfeed, if it's going to make you depressed, if it's going to make you sad, if you stop breastfeeding or anything like that, you want to make sure that you have professional help in this. There are people that have devoted themselves to doing this and helping other moms to be successful at breastfeeding. So it's very, very important. And also it's important in those beginning days and weeks that you make sure that you keep your baby at your breast as much as possible. A lot of women think that because their baby is constantly on the breast that they're not getting enough. That is not the case all the time. The baby is usually cluster feeding and needs to be at the breast. That's also going to help increase your milk production. The more you have the baby at the breast, the more milk you're going to produce. You want to make sure that you are feeding your baby on demand and that you are not watching the clock, okay? It doesn't matter if your baby just ate 30 minutes or an hour ago. If they're hungry, they're hungry. Sometimes they don't always nurse because they're hungry. They nurse because they want comfort. That is a comfort zone for them. You just want to make sure you keep that skin-to-skin contact, keep baby on the breast as much as possible, okay? That is very, very important. Another issue happens to be a lot of moms complain that their breast, it hurts, sore, cracking, bleeding, all sorts of things. Typically, the baby is not latched on properly, and sometimes that needs to be assessed by a professional so that they can help you, because the problem is that the baby learns to eat a particular type of way, and if it's hurting you, then they're not learning a new way to do it. They're going to continue to do that, and it's going to continue to be an issue for you. If you catch it early, a good lactation consultant can do that for you. If you catch it early, then you will be able to help correct the way that the baby is latching on so that they latch on properly, and it shouldn't hurt you if they are latched on properly. Now, that's not to say at the beginning, yes, sometimes even if the baby is latched on perfectly, at the beginning you may be sore. You may be a little dry because it's a new thing for you. It's something that you're going to have to work with and learn that it's not going to be like this always. So that shouldn't last though for more than, I say, give it 2 weeks. That's a long time for a lot of people, but it shouldn't even last 2 weeks. But I'm just saying, don't stop breastfeeding within those first few days because you feel like it hurts, because it's something you need to get used to, and there are different things that you can use to help you with that, to help you if you have sore, dry and cracked nipples. There are things that can help you with that. But don't stay in pain if it's if it's going on for days, weeks at a time, and you're noticing that it's hurting, there could also be other issues that can be assessed, such as it could be thrush, and there are things to do with that. So again, a lot of times you won't know these things unless you talk to someone. There are people that stop breastfeeding just because they say it hurts. And you probably were at that point where if you would have just lasted one more day, it may have stopped hurting for you. Eventually it does stop and it gets easier. It gets easier. That's just something that you have to remember. So, I said all that to say this again. Make sure that you talk to a professional, qualified individual, that you listen to them when it comes to breastfeeding, because they're the one that's going to provide you with the most valuable information that you're going to be able to use and what's going to help you to become successful at breastfeeding. And for a lot of moms, this is very important. I've seen moms get very stressed and even depressed because they had to stop breastfeeding, and most of the time it was for a reason that could have been corrected and they could have continued. So please do that. Please search out your local leche leagues. Please talk to lactation consultants. If you have a midwife who is pro breastfeeding, who can help you with that, that is amazing. If you have a friend who is currently breastfeeding or has breastfed her children that can help you to get you through it, that is also amazing. But you need the help. It's important to seek out the help. So that's all I have to say about that. If you have any other questions or comments in regards to this, please leave them in the comment section below, and I'll talk to you later.